My name's Alex Howard. I'm from a startup called Origami Energy. And we're creating the real-time marketplace for the distributed energy world. At this point in the day, I'm sure that a slide like this looks quite familiar to all of you. These two big transformations, firstly in the energy sector, from brown to green, and from centralized to decentralized, and secondly in the kind of tech industry where sensors, comms, data processing have all come on a lot over the last kind of 10, 20 years. And where Origami sits is in kind of joining those two forces together. The kind of most important point on this slide, and the one that I wanted to bring out, is around volatility. So that transformation is going to throw up all kinds of volatility and unpredictability. And that starts to kind of move the decision about kind of what's the best thing to do at a particular point in the grid at a particular time, from a manual decision past manual into, well, actually there are some rules which we can automate, and past that into actually it needs to be driven by real-time data. And so what we've done is really look to kind of abstract the way that physical assets and commercial markets are matched together such that the data leads to the kind of optimal match rather than kind of any rules or kind of processes that we might envisage. So we're about 3 years old as a startup. We've raised just over £15 million. Most of that money has gone into the kind of items in blue on the slide behind me. So a software platform, a hardware box that allows control and local decision making at the edge of the grid, and appropriate interfaces for people and machines into that. And really what that collectively equals is a marketplace where on the one side you have people that care quite deeply about where and when energy is consumed and generated, and on the other side people who have physical assets and some license to change when they operate. And aside from the kind of clever data processing, machine learning part, which is central to kind of creating that optimal match, we've invested a lot in making sure that the system is robust. So if flexibility is going to be a big part of the future system, it needs to be secure. It needs to be resilient. It needs to be scalable to kind of hundreds of thousands of assets. And so we're a software company. We're very proud of that, but kind of ultimately the value that we deliver depends on our physical impact. So I think unlike a lot of startups, we've invested in quite a lot of kind of hardware facilities for test and demonstration. We're very proud of the fact that we have a purpose-built microgrid facility which allows us to test that the kind of new control algorithms, the new ways of processing data, the new assets that we're controlling works before it hits the network. I want to say a little bit about the team. So we have a strong management team, an advisory board that kind of brings experience from tech and energy, but also 3 institutional investors who bring together experience of tech, entrepreneurship, and energy. And we are, at the moment, slap bang in the middle of raising our 3rd round of funding from each of these guys and potentially some externals. So in summary, we're about 3 years in. We've been operating commercially for about a year. The technology works. We've been revenue generating since January. We believe the UK market for flexibility is growing. There are new value pools opening up, but ultimately this is a global opportunity. We have a strong team. The reason why Peter, our CEO, who some of you may know, isn't here today is because he's closing a big strategic partnership with a supplier. And lastly, that we're kind of now preparing for our next phase of growth. So moving from demonstrating the technology to actually scaling that up with partners. Okay, that's all I have to say. Thank you.